August. Already. That can only mean one thing.
Fremsynkom.
In the season, everything you think you know is about to get flipped upside down. Alright, what's good everyone? I hope you're well. I'm Gabriel, and we need to talk about the upcoming Premier League season. Look, I'll cut straight into it. This isn't your typical Liverpool versus City title race preview. This season is going to be a lot different. So finally, after 65 days of waiting, watching some transfer sagas unfold, and seeing some absolute bonkers business deals. What do you mean Fulham hasn't bought any players? I've got 3 predictions that are gonna have you questioning everything. So buckle up, this season's about to be pure chaos. And you know what?
We will be there
for every second of it. Let's start with the big one. Liverpool will not win the Premier League title. I know, but before you type out angry comments, hear me out. Yes, they've had the transfer window of dreams. Arne Slot must feel like he's won the lottery, breaking the bank literally for Verts, bringing Frimpong along with him, replacing Trent with Kirkes, adding Ekitike up top, and now you're telling me that they're still flirting with bringing in Isak? Man, that's greedy. But here's what everyone is missing. Liverpool's success this decade was built on one thing: consistency. Klopp had to take a few years in order to turn Liverpool into a machine. But now you're asking a completely new system with 5 new starters to gel immediately into the most intense league in the world. That's just not how football works. That's FIFA career mode thinking. I feel like I've seen this movie before. Do you remember City's first big spending spree? Yeah, on paper, unstoppable. But in reality, chemistry takes time, and time is the one thing that you don't really get in the Premier League. Which brings me to prediction number 2, and this is regarding the madness we've witnessed this summer. This transfer window might just go down as one of the most exciting in a long time. We've seen Liverpool break the bank. Arsenal finally got their number 9, and Chelsea, you know they're collecting players like Pokemon cards. And City has still been at their usual. Even the promoted sides have been taking notes. Let's call it for what it is. It's been an arms race, pure and simple. It's like every club that watched the semifinals between Inter and Barca, they said, we need more of everything. We need more goals, more pace, just more everything. But here's what I think. I think this arms race is going to backfire spectacularly. Not for just one team, but I think for all of them. Because when everyone has world-class attackers, when every game becomes a shootout, goals going in left and right, what do you think wins titles then? The answer is, it's the team that doesn't get caught up in this madness. They make sure to stay organized, stay disciplined, and pick their moments wisely. And that's why I think there's going to be a surprise package in the top 4 this coming season. It's going to be a team that is built smartly rather than expensively. So I'm thinking Newcastle, Brighton, hell, even Forest. These are teams that have clear identities. They know where their strengths are. They're not trying to reinvent themselves each summer. So while the big boys are trying to figure out how to fit in the new superstars into their starting 11, these teams will quietly be picking up points and maybe potentially laughing all the way to European qualification. And I think come Christmas time, we'll all be thinking like, how the hell did we miss that? Now, for the one that will have you questioning how sane am I think that the Wolverhampton Wanderers will be going down. Yes, that's right. I think Wolves will be finally going down. But I know what you're thinking. But Wolves, they've stayed up in the Premier League for years. Like, they've become a household name. But that's exactly the problem. I feel like Wolves have just been sleepwalking through mediocrity for too long. Here's the reality. Wolves have been trending downwards since 21-22. And it seems that they are at the breaking point. I mean, just look at their transfer business this summer. Actually, just don't bother. It has been a disaster. Meanwhile, the promoted teams like Southampton are all making moves, strengthening their squads, and showing ambition that they want to stay this year. The writing has been on the wall for months. I mean, losing key players like Cunha and Ait Nuri and no clear direction from the ownership, the squad just looks mentally checked out. Vitor Pereira did well to keep them up last season, but I just don't feel that lightning strikes twice here. But here's what makes this season absolutely crazy. None of that might actually matter, because we haven't even talked about the real story here. I'm talking about Man City's revenge tour. Just think about that for a second. That team that has dominated English football for about half a decade just finished in third, while seeing Arsenal and Liverpool celebrate finishing above them. You really think Pep is just gonna let that slide? I think this City team will treat last season like it was a personal insult. If anyone forgot, they made a decent splash in the winter window out of desperation, but they didn't stop there. This summer, adding the likes of Shirky and Reinders, also Nuri addresses a few issues they struggled with, but I think most importantly, they have that wounded animal mentality that made them unstoppable in 2018 and 2023. The thing is, when City feel disrespected, they don't just bounce back, they obliterate everything in their path. But that's just the beautiful thing about football predictions. We're probably all wrong. I mean, who knows? Maybe Tottenham finally get their act together under their new manager and system. Maybe Chelsea's spending strategy works and they keep their momentum from the summer. And Arsenal finally breaking tradition to buy a striker. Maybe that and their experience finally gets them over the line. But that's why we love the game. Cause on any given Saturday or Sunday, everything can change. But if I were to put my money down, this is what I see. I just think City's experience and hunger right now slightly edges Liverpool's new talent but lack of chemistry. And I also see under the radar team fly under that radar and sneak into maybe a top 3 position while watching the big boys fight. And finally, I just think that Wolves' complacency finally catches up to them, but in the worst way possible. Look, I could be completely wrong about all this. You might be watching this video back in like 6 months and just be laughing about how badly I called it, but I think that's the point. There's so much that could happen in this season, and that's what just makes it so damn exciting. I think the team that ends up winning the title isn't going to be the best team on paper per se. I think it'll be the team that is able to handle the pressure, adapts to the chaos, and is able to grind out results even when everything is going wrong. So there you have it. What do you think? Did I just drop an absolute bomba, or have I completely lost the plot? Make sure to drop your wildest predictions in the comments. I'm really curious to see what your hottest takes are. The season starts in a few weeks, and honestly, I haven't been so excited to be proven wrong in quite a long time. So until then, keep dreaming, and I'll see you when the madness begins.